What's up, everybody? Damon here, and in today's gaming news, a major Lord of the Rings character is not returning for the hunt for Gollum, Dead by Daylight's devs think they know the secret to live service success, and an infamous game celebrates an anniversary today. This is your Daily Fix. Viggo Mortensen will not reprise his role as Aragorn in The Lord of the Rings: The Hunt for Gollum. Director and returning star Andy Serkis confirmed the news during a recent interview with Screen Rant. It's a casting update that means one of the stars of the original The Lord of the Rings trilogy films will not return alongside some of his castmates when the film premieres late next year. Serkis said, "Let's just say we are recasting the role and we are on the way to finding someone." Many fans have seen The Hunt for Gollum as an opportunity to reunite the team behind one of the all-time great film trilogies. Even Frodo actor Elijah Wood, who is also expected to return alongside Gandalf actor Ian McKellen, shared his excitement about getting the band back together just weeks ago. Mortensen said in 2024 that he was open to returning as Aragorn, though only if his inclusion made sense. Sure, the then 65-year-old actor said when asked if he was open to reprising his role. "I don't know exactly what the story is, I haven't heard. Maybe I'll hear about it eventually. I like playing that character. I learned a lot playing that character. I enjoyed it a lot. I would only do it if I was right for it in terms of, the age I am now and so forth. I would only do it if I was right for the character. It would be silly to do it otherwise." It seems Mortensen and the rest of the creative team weren't able to work out a way for a proper return of the king, at least for now. That leaves the door wide open for a newcomer to step into the role, though details on who that may be remain a mystery for now. The Hunt for Gollum is said to tell a story set between the events of The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings trilogy, meaning some of those returning actors will play versions of characters younger than they were when they first portrayed them. There's also the recently announced Lord of the Rings follow-up film, Shadow of the Past, which is being written in part by the Late Show host Stephen Colbert. Moving on, as Dead by Daylight rapidly approaches its 10th anniversary, the developers at Behavior Interactive have shared their secret to a successful live service game. Quote, "You have to start by not making a live game." Head of Partnerships Matthew Coate and creative director Dave Richard opened up about the studio's game development strategy during a conversation with IGN at the Game Developers Conference 2026. While the team is busy looking to the future of its asymmetrical horror hit, they're also taking the opportunity to look at how they've made it to the 10-year milestone. Through the highs and lows, Richard says Behavior has managed to keep Dead by Daylight alive by reinventing ourselves and listening to our community. That's meant adapting to player desires as the market has evolved, with more modes and gameplay tweaks added into the recipe as the years come and go. The plan wasn't to be a live service game when it launched on June 14th, 2016 though. Instead, Richard and Coate feel Dead by Daylight has been able to stick around because Behavior first sought out to create a game that was always fun to replay. Coate said, "We created a game, and then through the years, because people kept coming back to it, people kept interacting with it, we added more and more and more, and we gave it live game features." But that wasn't it when we launched, and that wasn't the objective. We weren't creating an eternal loop for people to be in, and just sort of the hamster wheel, right? That was not the point. We knew we wanted an infinite moment generator, like a game you could play and replay and still have fun, and still not exactly be sure what you're up against. Dead by Daylight launched without many of the components players associate with live service titles until much later in its life. The Rift Pass, Behavior's take on a battle pass, wouldn't arrive until late 2019, with an in-game store not added until summer 2018. Coate says their recipe could be repeated, but you have to start by not making a live game. He admits the idea might sound counterintuitive, but it allowed them to focus on ironing out early kinks while establishing the core experience. Dead by Daylight most recently launched its all-kill comeback chapter and will celebrate its 10th anniversary this June. And finally today, on this day in gaming history, Xbox and LucasArts released Star Wars Kinect 14 years ago today. The main game mode was called Jedi Destiny, where you were a Jedi Padawan and used motion controls to wield a lightsaber. There was also pod racing and Rancor Rampage. But the weirdest part of the package was the Galactic Dance-Off. To demonstrate, let me show you this video we made 14 years ago. I haven't changed a bit. And that's your Daily Fix for Friday, April 3rd. Right now you can jump into the Humble March Choice Bundle and score an amazing lineup of titles. You'll get Tempest Rising, Chants of Sonar, Sworn, Etrian Odyssey 3 HD, Bread and Fred, 0 Hour, Small Land Survive the Wild, and Hard West 2. This all supports the Malala Fund, an organization working for a world where every girl can learn and lead by breaking down the barriers that hold back the more than 130 million girls out of school today. Head to humblebundle.com through April 7th to start playing now. I'm Damon Hatfield, and for all your video game news, stay tuned to IGN.